Free Credit Repair Advice Group on Facebook, and we are live on Credit TV on YouTube. That's CREDI TV. So I'd like to welcome you all. If you're watching us on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube on Credit TV, either way, you are absolutely welcome to the daily credit report. This is something that we do, and I do every Monday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time, right here in the Free Credit Repair Advice Group on Facebook and right here on Credit TV on YouTube. So if you have not yet subscribed to Credit TV, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe, hit that subscribe button, smash the like while you're in there, and you will be able to take advantage of all the different videos that we've got on Credit TV about all kinds of things, about the best ways to handle a credit card, the best way to manage your cards, the best way to pay down debt, the best way to deal with collections, the best way to deal with all those things. That's Credit TV, CREDI TV on Facebook. And if you haven't been to the Free Credit Repair Advice Group yet on Facebook, go ahead and join. It's 75,000 people strong, and it's the Free Credit Repair Advice. So every Monday night, we do Facebook Live. And tonight's live, we're going to talk all about credit cards. Credit cards, the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to credit cards. We'll talk about the best utilization for credit cards. We will talk about the best cards that are out there, some different types of cards when you're looking to build your credit, and other things that can be done with your credit cards to take and really maximize your credit improvement, maximize your buying power, and maximize all of the things that your cards can do for you. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Thanks for putting my link down in there, brother. If you would, by the way, like to book a call with me, FICO certified credit coach Jeremy Dysock, you can actually do so by going to www.bookcoachjd.com. And what you do is you're going to pick a day or an evening or even a Saturday morning that works for you. And during your consultation that we have, during your call, we'll talk about what's on your credit. We're going to talk about your goals, and we're going to put together a plan and steps and action items to get your credit score and your credit profile in position for all the goals that you've got. So if you haven't had the opportunity to go ahead and do a credit consultation and see how Credit Life can can work for you and get your score and get your profile in position for your goals, go to www.bookcoachjd.com and schedule a day or an evening today. I look forward to seeing you there. So tonight's topic is credit cards. It's how to manage your credit cards. It is how to best utilize them, what credit cards are good to have, what types of credit cards it takes to round out a good quality credit profile. And so I want to start off with some of the different types of credit cards that are available when you are looking to build your credit, okay? There are a number of different types available that are out there for you to use. And you may have heard of some of these. You may have heard of secured cards, or you may have heard of prepaid cards. You may have heard of debit cards. You may have heard of graduating secured cards. There are a number of different cards out there that you can use when you're looking to build your credit and when you're looking to raise your score and raise your profile, get yourself in position for goals, again, such as home ownership. So the place I want to start with you right now is I want to start with something to do with what's called the Fico algorithm. How many of you watching right now, and give me some likes, give me some number ones in chat. How many of you have ever heard the term FICO score, your FICO credit score? How many of you have heard about FICO scores? How many of you know what FICO scores are? Well, if you know, give me some thumbs up, give me some ones, but if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. So FICO scores are lending scores. FICO is an algorithm. It is essentially a math formula that's applied to your credit report. Now, there are three credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And they keep the information on you and you and you and you and me and 350 million people. Okay. So Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they get this information on average from 20 sources per person per month. So that's 20 times three bureaus times 350 million people. So it's a lot of data. Now, if a creditor, if Bank of America, or if Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, or if Chase Visa Card, if they wanted to check you out to see if you're good to lend to, they would have to go to Equifax, they'd have to go to Experian, and they'd have to go to TransUnion and read through pages and pages and pages of your credit history and look at every single, how you repaid on your student loan, how you repaid on your car, how you repaid on all of these things. So it's impractical. They'd have to do this with, for three bureaus, all to get an idea of how risky it is to lend money to you, how risky it is to open up a line of credit to give you and extend you credit in the form of a credit card or in the form of a school loan or in the form of a car loan or in any other form. So the credit card companies had to go to the bureaus to get this information about you. Now, instead of having to read all of this information at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, instead of having to read it longhand, instead of having to go through all this stuff, Fair Isaac Corporation, which is what FICO initially stood for, Fair Isaac Corporation came up with an algorithm, a model that would assign a number value to each piece of data, to different types of data in the credit report. And then it would add those things together and come up with a risk score. Eventually, they became called credit scores. They used to be called risk ratings. It was how risky is it for you to be lent money? How risky is it to lend Jeremy $100? What's the likelihood of his repayment? So Fair Isaac came up with FICO, the FICO algorithm, and this became a math formula that was assigned to the data, and all the data in the credit reports came back, and they came up with a set of scores. And then they made their guidelines around those scores. So at the end of the day, all a credit score is a risk rating. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, because this is the first place to start when we're talking about credit cards. Okay, so we're going to go back. The FICO algorithm. The FICO algorithm is what creates your FICO score. And there are different types of credit cards that are available for people with different credit scores. Okay, there are lenders of last resort type of cards if you've got a really low score, and there are the American Express Platinum and the Diamond and the Black card if you've got this incredible credit score, and there's everything in between. So when we're talking about credit cards and building a credit profile here, you could have currently a qualification that's different than the other person watching, different than that other person watching as well, as far as what kind of card you're going to get. So know this: FICO score is going to determine what type of cards you get. Now, why is it so important to have credit cards? Now, aside from the convenience, in case of an emergency, you've got a card to put a quick car repair on, or a plane ticket, or overnight at a hotel, or something like that. It's good to have a credit card for that. Some people like to have them for Sky Miles and rewards. It's great to have a credit card for that. Some people have them so they can build their credit. Now, I want to show you all something. I'm going to show you all what is called the Fico Wheel. All right, there we go. So this is the Fico Wheel. This is kind of a Cliff Notes version of the Fico algorithm. And it shows what plays into the different percentages that make up your FICO score, that make up your lending score, your credit score. So we're going to start with this 35%. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. Oh, almost. There, huh? Is that right? All right, I did it. 35% of your FICO score is made up of payment history, such as, did you pay on time? Did you pay at all? Did you pay ever? A full 35% is made up of payment history. Now, if we go to the top of the FICO wheel here, I'm going to try to up top there. See that? Like the FICO wheel with arms, we're looking up top. 30% of your FICO score is made up of amount of debt. But more specifically, it's amount of debt on revolving credit accounts. Revolving credit accounts. Revolving credit accounts are credit cards. You can charge them up, you can pay them down, you can pay them off, you can use them again. As long as you're happy with the bank and the bank is happy with you, those cards can continue to revolve forever, okay? Those are called revolving accounts. So a full 30% of your FICO score is made up of balance to limit ratios on revolving accounts, credit cards. So here's what that means. If you do not have any credit cards currently, you are missing out on a full 30% of your FICO score potential. I'm going to run this by you again. If you don't have credit cards at all, you're missing out on 30% of your FICO potential. That's a major chunk of your score that you're not getting anything added to. There's no credit taking place. And this is why we're talking about credit cards tonight. Because when it comes to credit building, when it comes to the FICO algorithm, when it comes to getting a good credit score to put you in position for your goals, you can't get to where you want to be realistically and reasonably correctly without credit cards, okay? So step one, we know we need credit cards. Credit cards are responsible for a full 30% of your FICO score. And I'm going to talk about step two, or I'm going to talk about, kind of what to consider. Remember I mentioned those balance to limit ratios? We're going to talk about that right after this.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.